You've heard of bird flu, you've heard of rabies, but what about chronic wasting disease? If you're a hunter, you may be familiar with the transmissible neurological disease that affects deer. Well, it is here in the Triad since July the 1st of last year. The North Carolina Wildlife Resources Commission has returned 6 positive chronic wasting disease in 3 Triad counties. So far, it has not been identified anywhere else in the state. Now, with the disease's presence in the Triad, we want you to know what your risks are, if there are any. So our Verify team went to the experts to find out.
So what is chronic wasting disease and can it infect humans? These are our sources. Chronic wasting disease is what's called a prion disease. It infects animals like deer and elk and leads to neurodegenerative disorders. Symptoms can develop over a year or more and include drastic weight loss, stumbling, and reduced fear of people. Prion diseases are not unique to deer. CJD and mad cow disease are both notable prion diseases that infect humans. All are neurological disorders that are universally fatal. Prion diseases can spread through bodily fluids like feces, saliva, blood, or urine, as well as contaminated surgical instruments and, in some cases, contaminated meat. Once introduced to an area, chronic wasting disease can spread quickly among deer and elk. So can chronic wasting disease infect people? Luckily, there are no known cases of chronic wasting disease spreading to humans. Studies have shown it can spread to some monkeys, but findings are mixed. Still, the CDC recommends not eating meat from animals with chronic wasting disease. Given that prion diseases are untreatable, it's worth being extra safe. Dr. Ted Rothstein says that if you see a deer that's all skin and bones, uncoordinated, and has little fear of humans, it might be infected.
I think that might be a clue to want to have your meat inspected before eating it.
So we can verify that no, as of now, there's no evidence that chronic wasting disease can infect humans. Still, it's worth taking precautions just to be safe.
Now to something I brought up just a few moments ago, bird flu. It is spreading around our state and is even a driving factor in those high egg prices at the grocery store. Since September, North Carolina has seen 8 commercial poultry bird flu outbreaks. In total, over 1 million commercial birds have been affected. Now, bird flu is causing shoppers, of course, to scramble. Diseased poultry populations mixed with already high consumer prices means that you're shelling out more at the grocery store. Local farmers are selling out of eggs faster than usual. Folks looking to save a few cents know to head to Little Eden Alpaca Farm, where a dozen goes for just $4.
I mean, we saw some in the store that were like $12.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah, food. I'm not looking to get rich over it. It's much more fulfilling for me to know that others are able to partake in the same, joy that I have of having fresh eggs.
Now, while other farmers sell their eggs for grocery store prices, they say it's the quality that gets your dollar's worth.
Our eggs, they're not beautifully cleaned, they're wiped off, but the whole purpose of that is if you don't wash them, then they can stay as they are for 2 to 3 months.
If you can't get your hands on chick eggs, farmers recommend duck or quail eggs as a possible substitute. Now, a way to fight that egg price increase, keeping the poultry healthy. Experts say it's important for chicken owners at all levels to help stop the spread of bird flu.
If you are thinking of doing it in a small scale, just in the backyard, make sure you're informed about, what are the responsibilities and how do we best do this to care for the animals so they can provide for you.
So if you do have chickens in your backyard, there are a few signs of bird flu that you need to be looking out for.
Sudden die-off of a large number of the birds. If they have respiratory problems, crusty eyes, discoloration of their heads, swollen heads, that type of thing, or just generally ill like that.
Now, if you find a large number of wild birds dead in one area, or you keep a flock of birds and you notice them acting differently or sick, the State Department of Agriculture wants you to report it. Here in the Triad, what you would do is call the Elkin branch of the North Carolina Veterinary Diagnostic Laboratory System. We've got the number here on your screen. You may just want to take your phone out really quick and take a screenshot of it. It is 336-526-2499, and of course we'll have it for you online as well.